Tell me honestly, have you watched such videos? Videos such as how to prepare for the IAS, how to crack IAS in the first attempt, how to approach the civil services examination while you are studying in a college or a university, a perfect preparation strategy for a working professional to crack the civil services examination, a 2 year, 3 year preparation plan to target the civil services examination. I'm sure most of you would have watched such videos. Is this video going to be any different? Yes. For I will not tell you how to prepare for this examination. I will show you how to prepare for this examination because there is a difference between telling and showing. But first up, if you're attempting the prelims examination in May 2026, please skip this video. Do not watch this video. There is nothing in this video for you. But if you're targeting the civil services examination in 2027, 2028 or beyond, come closer, listen to me, for I will show you how to prepare for the civil services examination. Now, why should you trust me? I have been teaching civil services aspirants for 14 years now, and you can assume that I'm relatively experienced in this field. And that is why whatever I'm going to tell you now will straight away come from the heart. So listen to me carefully. Don't judge me now. Judge me at the end of this video. If you are not benefited by this video, let me know. If you are, and if you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section and I will personally respond to all your queries. But please listen to me carefully. There are 5 pillars of UPSC preparation. All these 5 pillars have to be strong. One pillar is weak and you are in a soup. Pillar number 1, motivation. You may have heard or read about this often cited cliche that the civil services examination is the world's toughest examination. Partly true, not completely true. Why? Because the exam is not difficult. The preparation process is difficult. You have to spend 2 to 2.5 years, minimum 2 to 2.5 years for this examination, provided you crack this examination in your first attempt. Because if you have to target CSE 2027, you have to ideally start your preparation 1 year in advance. And then there is mains, then there is personality test. So this entire process is going to take 2.5 years, provided you crack the examination in your first attempt. During this preparation process, sometimes you might bang your head. What am I getting myself into? I have to read so much. I have to study so many subjects. I have to read so many books. I have to read newspapers, magazines. I'm not fit for this. This is not my cup of tea. This is where your motivation will come into picture. Why did you start this preparation in the first place? What motivates you to prepare for this examination? There has to be some fire within you to prepare for this examination, to qualify this examination. If that fire is missing, if that motivation is missing, it becomes very difficult for you to sustain your preparation and crack this examination. Now, motivation can be anything. You genuinely want to serve the country, or you want power, prestige, status in the society, or this is your parents' or grandparents' dream. Whatever be the motivation, but without motivation, it becomes difficult for you to prepare and sustain your preparation and thereby crack this examination. Motivation is the key. But please do not search for external validation, external motivation. YouTube shorts, Instagram reels are not going to motivate you. They might motivate you for few hours or few days or few weeks, but what will sustain your preparation is your innermost motivation, your innermost desire to prepare for this examination and crack it. Muhammad Ali, the famous heavyweight boxer, he once said, "I hated every minute of my training, but I told myself, suffer now and live the rest of the life like a champion." So you will have to suffer for 2, 2.5 or 3 years of your preparation time. But maybe that suffering or that struggle is going to help you live the rest of your life with your head held high. Now, listen to me carefully. You might think that I'm warning you, but I'm just showing you the mirror. I just want to show you the reality. AI is going to snatch a lot of jobs. So there is going to be a lot of uncertainty in the private sector. The only certainty would be in the public sector, in the government sector. And the best of the best government jobs is the job of a bureaucrat, the job of a civil servant. So if you want to live a stable life, a fruitful life, for that you must consider a career in civil services, a career in bureaucracy. That's number one. Number two, if Iran-US-Israel war continues for a longer time, we are in crisis. The world will be in a crisis. And the crisis would be most felt by those who are working in the private sector. Maybe there will be job losses, layoffs, or salary cuts. But if there is one institution which will be aloof, which will be insulated from all these turbulences, that will be the public sector, the government sector, and the best of the government jobs is the job of a civil servant. That may also motivate you to prepare for this examination, but motivation is the key. Second most important pillar is discipline. When you intend to start your preparation, listen to me carefully. Ideally, you set out a target and then it becomes difficult to achieve that target and then you give up. Keep your initial targets minimal. Meet those targets in a disciplined fashion and slowly and steadily enhance your targets and you will see the results. Start with newspaper reading. Newspaper reading is a must. No YouTube analysis videos, no monthly current affairs magazines are going to suffice your current affairs preparation. For that, you must read the newspaper. Which newspaper? Either the Hindu or the Indian Express. Which one would you recommend, sir? I would recommend the Indian Express, but read it. Make it your habit. And once you make it your habit, then over a period of time, it will be part of your daily ritual. And when it is part of your daily ritual, it doesn't feel like a burden. One newspaper reading a day, 2 to 3 pages of a book per day. Start with this minimal target in the initial 15 days and then gradually increase your target, enhance your target. Now I'll tell you a scientific way. And what is that scientific way? Listen to me carefully. Do something basic, minimal for 40 days. 40 days is very important scientifically. If you do newspaper reading, couple of pages of book reading in a day and do this consistently for 40 days, I promise you it will become your habit. And then we say it is hard to lose your habit, to let go of your habit. Make the civil services preparation your habit and then the grass is greener. Then the preparation becomes easier. Then the success is within your reach. So motivation number one, pillar number one, discipline, pillar number two. And third, mentorship. Somebody has got to tell you what to study, how to study, but most importantly, what not to study. Because when you set out on this preparation, you go to a bookshop or you buy books online. So before, your aspiration is to become a district collector. But before you become a district collector, you are becoming a book collector. So you're collecting books, you're collecting notes, you're collecting study material. Do not inflate your sources. Minimize your sources, and for that you need a mentor. This mentor can be anybody. Somebody who has cracked this exam. Somebody who has been preparing for this exam for a few years and now he is in a better position to guide you. Maybe your teacher. Somebody has to be there to guide you how to approach answer writing. Which newspaper articles are important to be read? Which optional subject should you choose based on your interest or scoring capabilities? So mentorship is a must. And for that, let me introduce Unacademy Platinum. And what is this Unacademy Platinum? For those who are considering coaching, to prepare for the civil services examination, most of the individuals today, they opt for online coaching to prepare for this exam because the syllabus is completed from the comfort of your home. You get access to top teachers from the comfort of your home, and that's how a large number of students, majority of the students these days, they rely on online coaching to prepare for the civil services examination. But this online coaching can also become boring. It can also become monotonous. It can also become a lonely exercise because you are seeing the teacher, just like this video, but the teacher is not seeing you. And then you lose your concentration. And then you will attend few classes, but then you will skip the rest of the classes. What you need is discipline, as I told you at the start. And for that discipline, we have come up with India's first course called Unacademy Platinum, where we teach students in a group of 100. 100 students taught by one teacher. I am seeing the students are seeing me. Students are visible to the teacher is visible to the students, and I can point out, why are you not attentive today? We can interact with each other, and this is how the retention increases, retention becomes better, and your understanding of the syllabus becomes better. And in this Unacademy Platinum, what we do, the educators that you see on the screen, they personally mentor the students, give you targets, you have to meet your targets. We will meet you twice every month so as to keep a track of your performance and you never go astray. But why do you trust me? Or why should you trust me? For that, I'm inviting you to experience Unacademy Platinum for free. Tomorrow, Abhishek sir, who is India's foremost teacher for history, author of 2 books on history as well, he is going to take a free experience session of Unacademy Platinum on 27th of March at 7 p.m. Attend this free session. The link is provided in the video description, and you will first-hand experience what is Unacademy Platinum and how is this different mode of online learning helping the students. Discipline, before that motivation, then mentorship, and fourth important pillar is understanding the syllabus and PYQs. Now listen to me carefully. UPSC does not recommend that you read NCRTs or you read Lakshmikant for polity or you read D.D. Basu or you read R.S. Sharma for ancient India or you read ABC books or newspapers or magazines. The UPSC releases only 2 documents, and these are the most important documents for you. One is the syllabus, the other PYQs. Syllabus tells you what to study. And when you look at the syllabus tells you you have to study GS paper 1 to GS paper 4, essay, optional, internal security, disaster management, environment and ecology, science and technology, polity, economics, geography, history, social issues, social justice, international relations, ethics, so on and so forth. But how do you approach these subjects? Because these subjects you may have to study for other government exams also, for one-day exams also, maybe for SSC also, maybe for other examinations, state civil services examination. How is then the UPSC preparation going to be different? How should you approach these subjects differently as compared to other exams? For that, you have to rely on PYQs because PYQs will tell you how to study. When you comprehend, understand, read, follow, dissect the PYQs, that's how you will realize how to prepare for this examination. How in a sense? Let me show you. In prelims examination, questions can be conceptual. For example, this question was asked in prelims 2023. In essence, what does due process of law mean? And the answer is principles of the natural justice. A is the right answer. But you may not see this straightforward mentioned in any book. Then how would you answer this question? Please listen to me carefully. You don't attend classes or read books or revise your notes with a hope that whatever you have studied, whatever you have read, those questions will be asked in the examination. Questions from such topics or such study material will be asked in the examination. Not just that. Then, whatever you have read, whatever you have revised, whatever classes you have attended, basis that information which you have gained, would you be able to hazard a guess, an intelligent guess, and arrive at an answer? That's the most critical thing that you have to keep in mind. So there will be some questions in your examination, and these statements you may have never read while you were preparing for this exam. That doesn't mean you have to skip that question. What it means is, whatever you have read, can you make that knowledge which you have gained and attained the basis for answering this question? If yes, then you are on the right track. Some questions can be conceptual, some questions can be factual. Right to privacy is protected under which of the articles of the Indian Constitution? Article 21, and that's what the Supreme Court said in K.S. Puttaswamy v. Union of India 2017, when a 9-judge bench of the Supreme Court said right to privacy is a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution. So it means how to approach the syllabus. You will only realize once you have understood the PYQs. Similarly, when it comes to the mains examination, examine the scope of fundamental rights in light of the latest judgment of the Supreme Court on right to privacy. When did I tell you that Supreme Court said in K.S. Puttaswamy case that right to privacy is a fundamental right? This was decided by the court in 2017. And do you know when this question was asked in mains? 2017. Which means the same year when this important development took place, the same year this question was asked in the mains examination. So what is this? This is current affairs. But not every question can be current affairs based. There can be questions from the static portion of your syllabus. For example, this: under what circumstances can the financial emergency be proclaimed by the President of India? What consequences follow when such a declaration remains in force? But listen to me carefully. You may have read this, or if you have not yet begun your preparation, you will read this. But gaining knowledge is one thing. Applying knowledge is another. And that is where the fifth most important pillar comes into the picture: practice. You have to practice mocks for your prelims, mocks for your mains separately. For example, in our courses, we give 20 MCQs and 5 descriptive questions every Sunday. So whatever we teach you from Monday to Saturday, those topics form the basis of the questions of the test that is conducted every Sunday. So you are evaluating yourself before UPSC evaluates you. But now listen to me carefully. You have completed the syllabus. If you have completed the syllabus, you also need to understand whether you have completed it as per the UPSC standard or not. And how do you know that? If you have not completed it as per the UPSC standard, that means there is a need for course correction. That means you have to make some changes, some amends, modify your preparation. How will you know unless and until you test yourself? So mocks are very important for both prelims as well as mains. This is the fifth most important pillar for your preparation. But sir, and this is something that you might have heard or read, that you should start mains answer writing practice from day one. That is going to backfire on you, not on day one. Because to write an answer, just ask yourself this question. To write an answer to a question, first you need knowledge related to that question. And how can you gain knowledge on day one? It has to be a continuous process. So unless and until you have completed 30% of the syllabus of that subject, you should not start writing answers. You can practice prelims based questions even on day one, even on day 2 or day 3. But mains based answer writing must begin once you have completed 30% of that subject syllabus. because that's how you can then know the art of answer writing. You can develop this art of answer writing. And answer writing is an art that needs to be developed. Listen to me carefully. Some students, they have this fear that we do not come from the top tier colleges of India. We are not from IITs, IIMs, NITs, AIMS. We have not been academically strong in our graduation or in school. Is this exam for us? Will UPSC judge us? And that is how they will give us less marks and we won't be able to crack this examination? Please don't come under this impression that UPSC is going to ruin your attempt just because you were not academically strong. Why? Prelims is a qualifying paper. If the cutoff is 92.33 for general category, that is what it was last year in the last year's prelims examination. And which reminds me, last year when the examination was conducted, everybody felt, almost everybody, that this paper was the most difficult paper in the last 10 years or 20 years. Everybody jumped the gun, came to the conclusion that cutoff is going to be in 70s. Some said 60s, some said 80s, and nobody said it's going to cross 90. I stuck my neck out, and you can watch that YouTube shorts on our YouTube channel. Immediately after the prelims exam, the same evening, I recorded a shorts and I predicted that the cutoff is going to be anywhere in the range of 92 to 95. And guess what was the cutoff? 92.66. That doesn't mean I am a prophet or an astrologer who can predict this. No, that's what I told you right at the start. I've been teaching the civil services aspirants for the last 14 years. So you can consider me relatively experienced in this field. But this experience is on the basis of the fact that if the question paper was mostly inclined towards the static portion and the questions were relatively easier than the last year, then you can safely say that the cutoff is going to be slightly higher than last year. Now the point is, prelims is about qualifying. Whether you score 92.66 or you score 192.66 doesn't matter. These marks will not be counted. It's the marks that you score in mains plus the personality test that's going to determine whether you can clear this examination or not and what will be your rank. Does UPSC know when it evaluates your prelims paper who you are? What is your religion? What is your caste? What is your gender? What is your academic achievement? No. Mains is about 1750 marks. And while evaluating your mains answers, UPSC does not know. The evaluators do not know who you are, what's your name, what's your religion, what's your caste, academic performance. Nothing. It's only when it comes to the personality test that UPSC board comes to know who you are, what is your caste, what is your academic performance. Even if they give you less marks in the personality test, but you have good marks, scored well in the mains examination, you're still in the list. So please do not be under this assumption that if I have not been a good student academically throughout my life, now I have no chance to qualify and crack the civil services examination. Please don't be under this impression. Even if you are unable to speak good English, this is not the examination to test your language. This is the examination to test your knowledge. Prepare for this examination, but keep in mind 3 things. If you want a better rank, for that what you need to do, focus on 3 key areas. Focus more on 3 key areas. That does not mean you have to neglect other areas, but focus more on these. Your optional subject, essay paper, ethics, which is GS paper 4, ethics, integrity and aptitude. If you can complete the syllabus well ahead of your prelims examination, which means keep this in mind. If you are writing the prelims examination in May 2027, by December or January or maximum February 2027, your entire syllabus should be complete. including your option, including answer writing. Because after the prelims examination, 2.5 months are there for you to write the mains examination in August, September. That's not enough time for you to prepare for mains. That window from prelims exam till the mains examination, this window should be used for revision, practicing more and more answer writing, improving your answer writing skills, value addition. That's it. You can't study something new during this period. You should not ideally study something new during this period unless and until it is related to a current affairs development. And to finish the syllabus well ahead of time, you need to start now. If your target is mains 2027, CSE 2027, should you have any further questions with regards to your preparation or questions related to Unacademy Platinum, do let me know in the comment section, and we hope to see you tomorrow in the class to experience Unacademy Platinum. Thank you for watching.